Hey, welcome to this chatty art vlog where I share an urban sketching day out with Sarah Burns from Sarah Burns Studio and some really lovely artists that I met. I'll also share the supplies that I took, the fun that we had, and the art that we created. Here's a quick snapshot of some of the stunning paintings that Sarah has created. And if you haven't seen her already and you love gouache and you love landscape painting, then be sure to check out her YouTube channel, which I will leave linked down below. To start things off, believe it or not, despite me being so excited about finally getting to meet Sarah face to face and actually meeting other artists and painting in person, I got lost. The Londoner, got lost. In fact, I actually took a video of the shard because I thought I was so close, not knowing that I was walking in the complete opposite direction. Then thankfully, thanks to the power of GPS, pinpoint, and Sarah's patience, I managed to find everyone and find the group, and then we started making our way towards Tower Bridge, which is where we'd set up for our urban sketching session. Now, if you are a real MVP, like one of the realists who's been here for a long time, then you will remember that the last time that I did a London vlog was in this very spot, where I came and I shared some tips about urban sketching as I sketched the very Tower Bridge that we're going to sketch here. I will leave it linked down below for you if you haven't watched it or if you just want a refresher. But in the spirit of keeping that tradition alive, as I share this wonderful day out, I'll also share some insights that I have got since that time, 2 years on, sketching the very same tower, but this time with friends.
We're gonna have so many clips of us just laughing.
Yeah, literally. Like, what was the joke? We don't know anymore.
Hold on. Can I? Here, I'll
Oh, wait. Oh, yeah, go ahead. That makes a lot more sense.
Yeah. So, are you making a video of this?
Yeah, that was my aim.
Oh, right. Hello, everyone. So we're here today at the Tower Bridge, and we're painting, sketching together as a group. It's quite chilly, especially after coming back from my trip in America, where it was 30 C, and now, what is it, like 10? 10
with wind.
Anyways, she's done a beautiful sketch with paint and color, and I've barely finished a pencil sketch, so I gotta get to work. Handing you back to your host.
And this is our view. Feel free to pause if you want to sketch or paint it as well. That's completely fine. I feel like one of the things that really captivated me about this time is like the contrast between the far left, which is all like quite new, very cold, like blue buildings with sharp lines, versus the like right hand side where you get to like the Tower Bridge, the more ancient buildings that have a bit of a warmer feel to them as well. And I just initially wanted to capture the whole thing, like just get a really big panoramic view where we get from the city all the way down to the tower. Realistically, I couldn't fit on the page. And that brings us to the very first point, and that is that, at least for me, when it comes to painting outdoors, things rarely go to plan, and my art rarely looks like it does when it's in the studio, and that is okay. Your urban sketches, like mine, may actually be more like actual sketches. The lines may be a bit wonkier, a bit faster, the perspective may be a little bit off, the colors may not always make sense, and that is completely fine. Urban sketching quite often fulfills a completely different purpose to the relaxation in the studio. For me, it helps me feel more connected to the place. It makes the memories last. It reminds me of the laughter that was had, what I was doing, what I was saying, what the weather was like. It also helps me see the place better, like the details that perhaps otherwise I would have overlooked. I get to see because I'm really concentrating on the area and everything around it. And the trade-off is that it may not look as quote unquote perfect or as good as the art that you create in the studio always, all the time, and that is completely okay. So if that's how you feel, you are not alone, you're doing it right, and it's still worth it.
Did you want us to look or not look? Oh, hello.
Just be serious sketching. We're sketching the Tower Bridge.
I love creating art while on holiday. I love urban sketching, travel sketching, the whole work. So I have made many videos talking about the different supplies that I took to those places, and I'll leave that link down below for you. That being said, I can't make a video about urban sketching without talking about some of the different supplies that I took with me. I am a fair weather urban sketcher. I like to be comfortable, and as a result, it's called for like some creative solutions. One such thing is having like a foam board and putting down tapes of magnetic strips on there. This has been so helpful in just having a nice sturdy place to have my palette and have it be secure. For my water, I used a collapsible camping bottle. For my board, I used the Etcher Slate Mini. I feel like magnets as a whole are just a great, like an urban sketcher's best friend. So I also like the clips that have magnets on the end, so they serve two purposes. On one hand, they hold the sketchbook open so that the wind doesn't blow them, but on the other, they again provide another sturdy place for you to place your palette or your other magnet friendly items on there as well. And then another thing that I like carrying with me is a foam board, which essentially means that I can sit anywhere without, getting wet or cold. Again, like I said, fair weather, fair weather urban sketcher. Another thing is being mindful of the environment. So, some people have asked me like, how do I paint and sketch when it's raining or snowing or in extreme weathers? Personally, I do not do that. That is the simple truth. The honest truth is I don't. But I always assume that I'm going to be colder than it actually is because I'm going to be staying still. When I'm looking for places to sketch, I will look for like a comfortable place and also a place that is safe. I know that I've said all this and I know that I've said all these art supplies, but the other thing that I will also say, especially if you're starting off, is that sometimes less is more. I am an overpacker and I knew that I was going to an urban sketching event, so I brought as many supplies as I wanted to. But sometimes, I just carry a pen or a pencil and a sketchbook, and that is more than enough. Like, don't feel like you have to carry absolutely everything, and don't let your supplies be a barrier to actually just going out and sketching, because sometimes it will surprise you just how much fun you can have with just a simple art supply. Here I was using the colored pencil. This time round, I just used a fountain pen to actually sketch it out. My initial intention was to go back and paint over it, but actually I like the final result as it was, so it stays incomplete, and I kind of like that because that was basically the point where we were too cold and we had to move. Another thing that you can try that will keep it nice and simple when you go out is actually pre-prepping your pages. So just getting art supply that's not going to reactivate with water, such as acrylic ink, and actually putting down that color on those pages like this wonderful artist has done, and Omar Wynn and several other artists have done as well. And then as a result, when you go out, you just use that one or two supplies that you have to hand and create on top of that, and it just really gives a new dimension to your artwork. And that is something that I really want to try for both like urban sketching sketchbooks but also general sketchbooks. And this kind of leads me to another perhaps underrated point, and that is the importance of learning from others and being part of a community. I feel like I have learned so much from going to these events, from hanging out with other artists, talking, sharing our experiences, our sketchbooks, our practices. I do all this and more in my art membership on Ko-fi, which I will leave linked down below if you would like to join. But also Sarah has a wonderful Patreon where she does the same. And there are just so many different art communities where you can really learn a lot from other people, not just the artists that host them, but also the artists that are part of it. It makes it more fun, and I truly enjoy talking to people who are as passionate about art and art supplies as I am. It always leaves me feeling better than before the conversation, and that is all that I can hope for. So I will leave my Ko-fi linked down below. I'll leave Sarah's Patreon link down below as well, but I urge you to consider, if there's an artist that you really enjoy or if there's a community that you really like, then join it and see what a difference it makes to you and your artwork.
I was using a fair amount of pigment, and like maybe because it rained on it, but it just ended up being so soft and like pastel. I was like, how? What? But if you like really get the pigment on, it actually shows up. So I don't know.
What sketchbook is it?
I got a Sylvan and Burn Beta.
Oh.
Wash obviously does fine.
Gosh, your paintings are so beautiful.
These are from the Mike Hernandez workshop on one of the days where it was very sunny and dappled lighting and all that. So
It goes with your outfit as well, like your
maybe. That totally influences it, I think. Or maybe I just paint with those colors all the time.
I love St. Paul's as well.
Yeah, that was yesterday.
Yeah, it's really nice.
Was this your main workshop book then? Oh wow,
no,
and then the tree.
I also had my tone paper.
Look at the sun coming out now that we've decided to leave.
And it's like not windy all of a sudden.
Oh, this is so cool.
Yeah.
These are the combos again. I was trying to play with the palette. They're good fun. There's a lot of just ink swatches.
Look at the wind just giving us a sketchbook tour. And I love the shapes of this. It almost looks like one line.
Yeah, I really like that. It reminds me of somewhere in Scotland. Oh, is it from?
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
I did that on the plane on the way back.
Oh, cool.
Last evening, I went to that place because I was starting to get into like the double page spread by that point.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I love that.
nice.
We get to see both of yours. These are some of the pieces that we created from our session. We did like a little mini throwdown, and it was honestly so good to just see how everyone represented the same Tower Bridge, or the similar area, in such different ways, whether it be like different materials, different perspectives, different colors. It's really cool to see it all together. As you can probably tell, it was cold. Now thankfully it didn't rain, and it wasn't as cold as it could have been, but it was certainly cold enough that we had to get moving after a while. And that also reminds me to remind you that it is so helpful to sometimes just take a picture or a quick video of where you are painting or where you are sketching, because things can change so quickly, and a day that looks like completely blue skies can all of a sudden be raining or cold, or the lighting changes completely, and then it is time to go. So it's always helpful to actually have an image of what captured your attention first. Here Sarah was talking us through the other art that she created in the Mike Hernandez workshop.
Wow.
He had us doing like all these little thumbnails before we painted. And then
So cute. There's a lot of detail in something so tiny.
yeah,
And the lighting that you captured is amazing.
I think there's another one.
How long did these take you?
Oh, that's so nice.
30 minutes, I think.
Oh, nice. Oh, I love all the dry brushing.
My tiny little
Person.
It's rare, but it happens.
Really enjoyed looking through like Sarah's sketchbook, and I think one thing I wish I had done is looked through, with permission obviously, but look through other people's sketchbooks as well. I just really love sketchbook tours, and I feel like I can learn so much from other artists and what they're doing and what they're enjoying and what materials they're using. Like the whole thing I really find fascinating and I really enjoy. Now from there, after we'd done our throwdown and after we looked through Sarah's sketchbooks, we actually went searching for a warm drink just to like warm up, and then we spent like a while just chatting. And I should give the caveat that I was learning how to use a new camera, hence the like footage like this.
This video is going to be you learning your new.
And Sarah was not wrong. It was a lot of footage of me just like learning how to use this camera as we made our way through London. So after we got hot chocolate, obviously through the course of the day, different artists had to go home. And by the end, it was just Sarah and I walking through London with plenty of things to sketch and to draw. And one thing caught our attention, and that was like a big, beautiful boat. So we wanted to sketch it, and we were looking for the best place and the best viewpoint, and it came to our attention that actually the best viewpoint was a Turkish restaurant. And so we had dinner, we sketched, we chat, we laughed. I discovered that Turkish food has great vegetarian options. And I say this because despite eating and loving Turkish food, this was like a fact that was completely unbeknownst to me. Like it's as if I'd never seen the V's on the menus before. It was genuinely so embarrassing. But honestly, I had such a good time. We just sat there for hours, we sketched, we chat, we had a great meal. And as a surprise to no one, I just left feeling so inspired and so ready to create create and so joyful. If you have enjoyed this video, then you will definitely love this series of next ones where I share even more art vlogs and more about urban sketching and creating art outdoors. Remember to check out Sarah's YouTube channel if you haven't already, and if you're still watching, you are a real MVP. I haven't forgotten about you. I really appreciate you. Let me know that you are still watching by telling me what supply you would use to paint or sketch outdoors. Super special thank you to Sarah for organising this, and a gentle reminder that if you want to join my membership, you are all more than welcome to do so, and I will leave that link down below for you. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you next week. Bye. God bless. Where are you? Okay, yeah, now it's...